Periva Sharanam, Exploring Divinity with Stories. Under that tag, I am back again with yet another story. Are you also waiting to listen to another story? Come, join me in this journey. Laye Sanjeevan Lakhan Jiaye. Does that ring a bell in your mind? Lovely, you guessed it right. It is my pleasure to narrate the tale of Hanuman, who brought the Sanjeevani herb, also called as Mrita Sanjeevi, along with the Aushadhi Parvata, that is the mountain, to bring Lakshmana back to life in the battle with Ravana. At this time, when so many people are suffering because of the pandemic, we definitely need beloved Hanumanji's grace to revive us back to normal with his magic Sanjeevani. In our most famous well-known epic Ramayana, the Vayuputra Hanuman, he is called as the Prana of the epic, as he saved the lives of Sita Mata, Lakshmana and Bharata. Did you know that the Aushadhi Parvata with the Sanjeevani herb was brought by Sri Hanuman not only once but twice from the Himalayas? Do you want to know that? Hear me along. You must have heard of Kumbhakarna. Who was he? He was Ravana's brother. He was killed by the Vanara army. And after hearing the death of Kumbhakarna, Ravana was devastated. He did not know what to do. He fainted with shock and pain as all his valiant sons and his mighty brother have been wiped away. Ravana, after waking up from his faint and teary eyes, Indrajit, Mandodari's son. Who is Mandodari? Mandodari was Ravana's wife. And Indrajit, Ravana's son, he could not see his father suffering so much. He said, "Father, do not worry. I will make sure that the enemy is put down immediately with all my powers." Saying this, he did so many yajnas, and after that he got his Brahmastra, and he also got a beautiful chariot. Along with the chariot and the Brahmastra, he flew into the sky and he started pouring bows and arrows. Vanaras also fought valiantly with Indrajit, but nay, Indrajit killed all of them. Sugriva and Angada, they were also injured. He then proceeded to where Rama and Lakshmana were, and he started hiding himself in the sky and started pouring arrows on them. Rama knew that it was the Brahmastra which is doing all this, and told Lakshmana to bear the onslaught so that Indrajit would leave the place, and soon both the brothers submitted themselves to the weapon and fell down in a death-like faint, which made Indrajit think that they had been felled, and he returned to the city shouting with happiness and joy. The only persons who were not affected at all were Hanuman and Vibhishana. Hanuman and Vibhishana went around the field searching for everybody. Have anybody survived the Brahmastra? They wanted to know. Then they found that Jambavan himself was injured. Who was Jambavan? The divine king of bears, created by Lord Brahma. Jambavan was so happy to see that Hanuman was unharmed and told Hanuman of the Aushadhi Parvata. Where was Aushadhi Parvata situated? It was situated between the Kailasha peak and Rishabha hill in the Himalayas. You are the only one, Hanuman, who can go and get the herbs, Sanjeevani, which will bring back all the life, and Vishalyakarni, which will heal all the wounds, and Santanakarni, which will heal all the fractures, and Swarnakarni, which will restore the skin. These grow on the Aushadhi Parvata. Please go and get them, Hanuman. Hanuman, what did he do? He immediately took a big, gigantic form, the same form that he came when he went to Lanka. Off he took the skies and flew with great speed towards the northern direction. It was as if a massive mountain was flying. Soon he found the mountain, Aushadhi Parvata. But what happened? Yes, he found the mountain. But the herbs, where are they? They seem to be concealing themselves. Hanuman got so angry. He uprooted, he pulled the entire Parvata and carried it in one hand and flew back to the battlefield in Lanka. Imagine, he took the mountain and he placed it on the battlefield. The medicinal smell of all the herbs went across all the place, and everybody who had fallen in death-like faint, including Rama and Lakshmana, woke up as if back from a trance. All the Vanaras awoke, and all the traces of wounds, everything disappeared. And wait, there is more. This is mission 1 of Sanjeevani. Now for the mission 2, Sanjeevani. Indrajit, who this time again decided to fool the army by deceit, brought in his chariot what is called the Maya Sita, Sita-like person created by Maya. Hanuman, looking at it, indeed thought that it was Sita Mata and was shocked. After raining arrows and hurting the Vanara army, Indrajit, proclaiming the lady in his chariot to be Sita, slashed her chest and killed her. Hanuman was devastated and walked away from the battle. He felt the very reason for whom the battle was fought now is being killed. What is the use? Indrajit was so happy that he has diverted the attention of the enemy camp, as he had planned a secret ritual in a place called Nikumbila, on the completion of which he would become invincible. He proceeded with his followers to Nikumbila to start and finish the ritual as early as possible. Hanuman came and told the entire story to Sri Rama of Sita's demise. Rama was so disgusted and he fainted. The army tried to revive him while Lakshmana was comforting him and telling him that he would avenge this act. Later, Vibhishana arrived, and hearing the entire story from Hanuman, he told that it was only Maya Sita. Sita Mata is still alive, he told everybody. Then Vibhishana told about Indrajit's ritual, which had to be stopped before its completion, and urged them to go to Nikumbila. Later, Lakshmana and Hanuman, along with the army, went with Vibhishana to Nikumbila and interrupted the ritual, much to the surprise of Indrajit, and a fierce battle ensued between Lakshmana, who fought riding on the shoulders of Hanuman, and Indrajit. Then later, using what is called as Aindra Astra, Lakshmana killed Indrajit. Ravana was shocked to hear that his son is no more. Slowly recovering from the shock, he then sent his personal army to surround Rama's army and attack them. They were all extinguished in no time. Ravana was so angry to see that his brother Vibhishana was protected by Lakshmana. And then he hurled a weapon by name Shakti at Lakshmana. The weapon never missed its victim. Fortunately, just before it hit Lakshmana, Rama uttered, "May the Shakti lose its potency and leave my brother unharmed." The weapon, though lost its potency, entered the chest of Lakshmana, and he fell senseless on the ground, bleeding profusely. Rama, though deeply hurt, was wild and angry with Ravana. Entrusting Lakshmana to Hanuman and Sugriva, he fought with so much fury that Ravana decided to leave the field for the day. Ravana was filled with grief, and now that Ravana had left, he sobbed openly and he said, "Without Lakshmana, I do not desire to rescue Sita nor live myself." Susheshana, the physician, then examined Lakshmana and told that he was not dead. This was when Hanuman was again requested for the Vishalyakarni leaves from the Aushadhi Parvata. Susheshana told Hanuman, "You have to go back to the Aushadhi mountain and bring the leaves, the herbs which will cure Lakshmana." And we all know definitely what did Hanuman do? He's always ready to serve Rama and Lakshmana. He immediately started flying even before Susheshana could complete the sentence. Within moments he reached Himalayas, and impatient as he was, lifted the whole mountain once again in one hand and was back in Lanka within minutes. Hanuman had assumed such a huge big form that the big mountain in his hand looked like a small block of soil. The moment Hanuman landed and kept the Parvata, Susheshana climbed the mountain and took the leaves and crushed them and held them under the nostrils of Lakshmana, and he woke up as if from a trance. He was completely cured and was normal. All the injured Vanaras also came back alive. Rama was so happy at Lakshmana's revival. The rest we all know what happened. Ravana was killed subsequently and Rama's mission was accomplished. This is how Hanuman served the warriors and saved them by bringing the Sanjeevani not once but twice. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. See you all again next week. Till then, goodbye. Perivasharanam.